Welcome back to the last Remnant video walkthrough 100% completion and low BR guide. We are continuing on with our parameter bonuses. This is the third of 3 videos, and we are going to work on Gabriel's parameter bonus now. I won't be doing much commentary in this one because I'm going to be reading dialogue the entire time. We're going to get all the parameter bonuses for all of our final 18 that we have with us right now. And we'll talk to Gabriel. Do you know the subcommander of the Order of Melfina, the fiery Ophelia? I hear she is quite unlike the stodgy old commander, instead of beauty and the flower of youth, blazing with a passion for justice, and perhaps for other things as well. I should like to be the one to tame such a tigress. I wonder, is it difficult to join this Order of Melfina? Okay, and like I explained in the last video, or the one before, I'm not going to be showing us going out to the world map 5 times and coming back. It's just going to show me leaving here and then coming back in, just like that. But what I'm doing there is going back out to the world map and then coming back in here 5 times in order to progress the character to the next set of dialogue. And so now Gabriel will have a red circle again. Do you know the Lady Charlotte de Baltarosa? She is a lovely young heir to the Desert Queendom. Unlike that arrogant harpy of a mother, Charlotte is a gentle and delicate flower, a true desert bloom. I wonder how I may pick that flower and raise it in a garden of my own. Alright. So, Gabriel's kind of a dog. But I thought he was in love with Violet. Maybe not. Maybe his interests keep changing. I'm sure when we talk to him now, he's going to bring up somebody else. Who's probably already taken also. Do you know the goddess of Elysian, Marion Marshall? Not even the legendary Desert Queen could compare to her greatness. It is said her beauty was enough to set even the most stoic of hearts a-tremble. If only I could lay eyes upon her even once. Yea, time itself plots against our romance, yet I am certain I can find a way to surpass it. Okay. It usually takes about 4 or 5 conversations before they'll give us the parameter bonus. But the nice thing is that once it's done, we don't ever have to do it again for that character. The beloved daughter of Celipale's storied house of Jill's Bear Violet. She is noble as a rose. Just the sight of her fighting for the glory of her family, continuing the work her late father carried for so long, moves my heart. Shall I be frank for a moment? I'm the 3rd son of a poor family from Athlon. There was no place for me in my home, so I fled at my first opportunity. However, on my own, I realized I had little with which to make my way. As you well know, my skills lie not in acts of valor. My single talent is a pretty face. No need to look so surprised. Act how I may, I have a full understanding of the reality of my situation, and I have taken advantage of it as well. Thus I have made my way through the world by pleasuring ladies and romancing maidens. Never had one captured my heart. Never before now. Violet, for some reason I cannot keep her from my thoughts. This has never happened before. Forgive my going on. If nothing else, this is no conversation for children. Though I had imagined Baron Nielsen to be a base cur, while in truth he is surprisingly broad-minded. I must let it go. Rush, forgive my candidness. I have not intended to speak of such odd things, though you are a surprisingly good listener. It is appreciated. Rush, once again I pledge myself to your service. I promise to work to the best of my abilities. As for the extent of those abilities, I make no guarantees. No, you do fine, Gabriel. And he gives us a parameter bonus. And let's see, for Gabriel, that is a 5% speed boost, permanent. and now we don't need to speak to him again. Most characters kind of unveil something about themselves. He didn't do much, but except talk about women that he can't be with. Okay, that's fine. So we'll move on to the next one, and I think I'm doing these in the order in which we picked them up. I think Gabriel was one of the first people we unlocked by doing 2 quests for Gabriel and Violet. No, I'm not doing them in order. I'm talking to Glynis. I've traveled far and wide searching for something powerful. In my journey, I caught word of an old legend. Somewhere in the world exists a weapon of extraordinary power. Go get it. With it, one can defeat even the largest of foes. Okay, so there's a big weapon out there, a weapon of mass destruction. So we went out to the world map, came back 5 times. Let's see if she'll talk about that again. Standing here watching passersby reminds me of my hometown. The same sun shines through the blue skies, causing shadows behind the building. My town was not rich, but there was an abundance of happiness and joy. I wish I could go see it with my own eyes once more. That's happiness and joy. When my town burned to the ground, all I could do was stand there and stare at what had become of it. That image is not something I will ever forget as long as I live and breathe. I've traveled across many lands in search of the man who caused such devastation. He will continue to roam the world until I get my revenge. That is when my journey will end. Okay, so she's kind of jumping around. She said something about a weapon, and then she's talking about her hometown, and then she's talking about wanting revenge on somebody. At least Gabriel stuck to women the entire time. Greetings. I have been yearning for revenge, but no more. My memories with him, my desert town that no longer exists, both have become a special part of me. Whatever happens, I will always have them to keep me strong. If it's no burden, I would like to join you on your journey. Perhaps it will allow me to find a new goal in life. Woman, you already joined us several videos back, but thanks for the parameter bonus. Glynis gives us a 20% action point boost, permanent. And we can get parameter bonuses for some of the other guys in our party, but we're only going to be doing the final 18. And Roberto's on that list. Oh, Master Sykes, I did not notice you there. My apologies. He never notices us there. Of late, I've found myself heavily pondering the life I've led and questioning the choices I've made. Okay. Thank you for that. Another sentence, please? Nothing can stop the march of time. Likewise, the fact that my body grows weaker with age is inevitable. Soon comes the day I must pass the torch to a young knight so that they might lead the order. There are many young, promising knights in Melfina. Even with my departure, the order will stand strong. Truly, there's no reason for me to hold on to any doubts. Master Sykes, if I may have your ear for a moment, have you ever questioned your existence, your life's purpose? From the moment I made my pledge with Marcia, I have given my all to the Order. Everything I've done, every action I have taken has been to protect Melfina. Without my knighthood, I fear I may become lost, knowing not what to do with my life. These thoughts haunt me endlessly of late. Okay. So he kind of says the same thing 3 times there, and maybe he'll elaborate this time. All my life I have done my utmost to be a worthy leader of the Order of the Melfina and use that position to protect our lands from any threat. However, meeting you has given me a second purpose. Endless wars rage on in our world. From now on, I must think of helping not only Melfina, but the entire world. Even if frailty of body leads me to give up knighthood, I will never discard the values I have lived by. I will continue to serve the world in whatever capacity I can. To that end, I would be honored if you would allow me to continue to accompany your troop. And we get Roberto's bonus there, which is 5% intelligence, 5% intelligence permanent. And that's his parameter bonus. Moving on, moving on. Okay. Ryosha, and I'm kind of afraid we're going for Alan here. Are we going for Alan? Okay, yeah, this guy just doesn't like us. Are you truly as imbecilic as you look? I have nothing to say to you. Ugh, I have absolutely no idea how Torgal can stand to live around such idiots. Well, this is just a breath of fresh air there of happy thoughts and well-to-dos. So if we can just stomach talking to him 4 more times, we'll get his parameter bonus. You again? That reminds me, the smallest of our 4 generals was saying, "My Alan, even though you're Servani too, you act so differently." What the hell is that supposed to mean? Trying to insult me, is that it? That Khazidi's too big for his non-existent britches, don't you think? Next time you see that little thing, you'd better tell him to watch his abnormally long tongue if he wishes to keep it. ... No, it's not worth getting this worked up over. A tiny thing like this, just forget about this boy. God, I wish he wasn't such a badass. Okay, getting ready for some positive emotions here. You again? That reminds me, I saw Torgal get angry at one of the 4 generals, that hulking lump of a fish man. And all over something as insignificant as sneaking food. Ah, the lofty concerns of the famed 4 generals. Simpletons. You know, I've never seen him make such an overt reaction before. Never. In fact, the prideful bastard would brag that only fools would show any emotion. Good God, what in the 7 hells happened to you, Torgal? How could you change so, you hypocritical dash? Dots! Tisk, not again. What is making me so angry? Even he is not worth that. It must be a side effect of having to debase myself to talk to you. Huh, you again. It seems that Torgal has found someone else he's willing to confide in, someone other than me. Well, fine. It's fine. I'm glad to be rid of his piddling concerns. What does that look for? Are you laughing at me? Let's see if you're still laughing when I rip you limb from limb. That is, I believe now I understand why Torgal keeps you around. You people do keep things lively, don't you? I never felt this way when I lived apart from you other races. I always considered those who let themselves be rankled by little things to be ridiculously foolish. And yet, after having spent this time traveling with you people, I've found myself increasingly burdened by these feelings. Odd, as time passes, the less I've thought that to be a bad thing. You people are truly the strangest group I have ever had the displeasure of meeting. I had planned to leave such a cloyingly buddy-buddy group at once, but for some reason you amuse me. Perhaps I'll stick around a bit longer. What's that look for? You don't like it? Don't think I was joking about that limb from limb bit. Parameter bonus. Thank God. Okay, he gives us a 15% increase to action points. And I assume that is starting action points and max action points. Both what you get every round and what your maximum is. So that's a nice boost to action points there. And finally, Alan's done. Okay, these are going to start to get a little different. I think we've done the easy ones. Some people are going to want to send us some kind of errands here. Here's Gal. You again. Look, I can understand why you'd want to talk to me. I know how impressionable young boys are. But break time is me time, alright? What the hell is that stupid expression for? Oh, don't tell me. You don't have the slightest idea who I am, do you? Well, damn. I didn't know people like you even existed. We know that you're in our group and have been for quite some time. But apparently he thinks he's very famous. Perhaps he is. So we need to go by an Us Weekly and kind of read about who he is. Hey, seriously, you've never heard of me? Not to toot my own horn, but in the world of mercenaries, I'm known as the King. Sure, I figured downgrading from war contracts to little jobs like this might get me ragged on or something, but an employer who doesn't even know me from Adam? Whatever, just looking at you I can tell you're just a little puppy, still suckling in his mama's teat. How about it then? Why don't you test your hand? Gotta warn you though, just a battle or two of sparring ain't gonna bless you with my luck in battle. You could at least pretend to look interested. Okay, so we don't get the option to fight him, unfortunately, because he's on our team, and it would be him fighting himself, I guess. But we would bounce him off the walls, if we could. Pup, you're back. You ready to show me what you've got? What? Now you look like someone stole your last bone. Don't like being called a little puppy, do you? Don't get me wrong, kid. I'm not trying to put you down or look big or anything. In fact, you've got a good look in your eye. I can tell you're a fighter. Let's focus that. Make you actually worth something. What do you think of that? Me as your teacher. If you ask me, I think you should feel honored. What? You doubt my skill? You think I'm full of it? Think what you want. So what are you going to do about it? If you know someone who thinks they can beat me, bring them on. I'll show them how strong or weak they really are. Alright. So we're going to get the biggest, baddest dude we know, and we're going to have him whoop Gal's ass for us, so he'll actually have a conversation and give us a parameter bonus. So let's see, where to find a bit. Oh, Gore! Gore Castle. Let's ask the king if he'll do us a solid and go there and bounce him off the walls for us. A mercenary going by the name of Gal. Yes, I've heard of him. He's the one they call the king. Why? Oh, I see. Interesting. Don't fret, I'll handle it. Blam. And he did it so quickly, he's back. Like, he did it, he's back. So, he's going to need a res right when we get there. You again, you seriously don't understand the point of time off, do you? Just let me rest. I feel like the sacred lands fell on me. That's all you're doing, isn't it? Some Yama in a mask comes up, challenged me to a fight. Come on, like I wouldn't know that it's Duke Gore. He was carrying the Bilkis, for crying out loud. What the hell kind of idiots is he used to dealing with? Damn. Thanks to that, I can't feel my face. Sorry, Rush. I took a little bruise to my pride and let it blow up into all this mess. Guess I shouldn't slack on my training either. What do you think, Rush? You up for some lessons? I wasn't lying when I said I saw a lot of potential in you. Of course, the number one thing a mercenary needs is strength. So the first thing we got to do is eat. And speaking of strength, his parameter bonus is an 8% boost to strength permanently for having gone through those conversations, and now that that's done, we can move on to the next one. I would imagine an 8% boost to strength is an 8% boost to combat damage across the board. And they're all percentage based, so they'll go up as their stats have gone up. Rush, is there anyone you truly admire? I suppose my biggest hero is my father. Father became Marquis when he was the age I am now. He was able to unite and lead the Eurasian people. Even after Mother died, he never faltered. I cannot help but look at him with pride, not only as a son, but as a citizen of Ryotia. Wow, Paris is such a good guy. Nobody loves their father that much. That's... Rush, your father is the famous Dr. Sykes, is he not? Do you ever find yourself compared to him? My father is a master fencer, but not only is he skilled in combat, his character is such that he immediately won the hearts of the people. Compared to that, what have I to offer? Nothing. I cannot help but look upon myself with shame. Someone like me ought not even dream of becoming a man like him. Forgive me, I must be boring you. Please, forget what I was talking about. It's already forgotten, man. It's already forgotten. So Paris wanted to talk to us about something, but what's this? It's a brooch, a gift from my mother when I was very young. It's quite old now. My mother always said the soul was like a mirror. The feelings you show will always be returned. Thus, don't meet others with anger or hatred, but with kindness and charity. I always admired that about my mother. Yet, kindness isn't enough to rule, is it? It seems that instead of kindness, strength is what's needed to guide the people. Forgive me. I did not mean to unload my thoughts on you, Rush. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've decided that there's no use in trying to compare myself to Father. I remembered something else Mother always told me. Everyone has their own strengths. Instead of comparing them to those of others, we must find how to use them best. I'm a different man from my father, thus I must earn the trust of the Ryotian people in my own way. It's taken a long time, but in traveling with you, I'm finding my place here. I've been able to come to this conclusion. My whole life, I've felt equally honored and cursed to be the future ruler of Ryotia. Finally, I feel like I can get past my insecurities and begin to move forward. Rush, please allow me to continue to journey with you. I realize I have a great deal more to learn, so that someday I'll be someone to be proud of. Oh, we're proud of you, Paris. Especially now that you gave us 20% boost to hit points. Which is massive. It's more than our premium bracelet did, and it's passive and permanent, so it stacks on top of the bracelet. Okay, and we're moving back to Baltarosa. Upstairs in the pub, Zulian. Good to see you, son. I've just been here having a drink with an old friend. Huh? And he's alone. Unless his old friend is in his pocket. Oh, our fearless leader. Has something so dire come up that you need the services of this old man? When it comes to battle, the experiences of fighters like me can be a good reference. Every so often, young warriors such as yourself come to ask for advice. But just now, I was having a drink with a good friend. He and I have been coming to this pub for a long, long time. It's long been our spot to have a drink after a battle. Next time, why don't you join us? But you're still young yet, aren't you? That Marquis of Atham would have my head for leading you into temptation. Ha ha ha! I like Zulian, but I think he might be crazy and like senile crazy. You want to know about my friend? I suppose this starts, what, 30, 40 years back? We met on the battlefield. We were both fresh recruits, shaking in our scales to be in the middle of a real battle. We ended up cheering each other on. Ever since then, we were comrades in arms and rivals at times. But you know, it's not like we're getting any younger. Nowadays, we spend a good deal more time meeting in places like this than anything else. Okay, now I believe he will not continue until we bring him Zane's ring, or have Zane's ring on us. And that'll kind of confront him about his invisible friend. Hey, good timing. I was just talking about you. Zane here, this is Rush. Huh? Where'd the devil did he go? Can't believe he snuck off again. Left me with the build to boot. I swear Zane was right here a minute ago. He always does this. Disappears right when I need him. Like that time in Seibenber. You know what? I think maybe I've had a little too much to drink. Okay, so they do kind of give you a hint, or it's a half-ass hint. They say you need to go to Seibenber to find something of Zane's, or well, they don't say that. They just mention Zane, and then they mention Seibenber. So they don't tell you it's in the second path. You could go through all 7 paths looking for that ring. I guess they could have been a little more clear, but nah, you got to go online and find out that you need the ring. What? That's Zane's. You found it. 3 years ago, there was a big operation to clean the Beastmen armies out of Seibenber. Zane was in charge of one of the main squads. He knew the Beast leader had to be taken down, so he went after them, but didn't come back. In the end, we beat back the Beastmen. I didn't hear about Zane until it was all over. I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe Zane was gone until I could see it with my own eyes. I thought if I came here to the pub we always met at, he'd eventually show up. I've been waiting ever since. I suppose I've been afraid to accept the truth. But seeing that ring, I can't run from reality any longer, and I think that finally I'm alright with that. It seems that even old as I am, I still need to work on my discipline. Thank you, Rush. Anytime this old man can be of use, just say the word. I'll help in any way I can. And he does. He's helping us by giving himself an 8% boost to speed, which will kind of help the Mystic Arts group go a little faster. And the sooner we can get the Mystic Arts group to attack, the better. Okay, so we're done with Zulian, and I believe we just have one left that we need to do. But I didn't know when I was recording the video that we couldn't get all of Jaeger's done. Like, we could get all but the last one, and we needed to get Jaeger's summon before we could get it. And so that one conversation is in a later video. You again, you know, you don't got to spy on me all the time. I know you haven't got anything to complain about because I'm working hard. And I'll continue to work hard as long as you keep paying me. Alright. You again, you seriously need something better to do with your time. Alright then, let me ask you something. What are you fighting for? You owe the Marquis something? Nah, I can see from your face that that ain't the real reason. Whatever, no skin off my back either way. Are we allowed to answer him? No, no. Okay. Okay. Well, you may be asking, because Glennis is right there by the door, why didn't we do Glennis and Jaeger at the same time? And the reason is I don't think you can. I don't believe there are any two that are in the exact same area. Oh, well, that might not be true. Well, there's not many if there are. You know, Rush or whatever. What do you think about the state of the world lately? I'm not talking about peace or war or anything, just something ain't quite right, you know? I've been binding remnants all my life, and it hasn't ever felt like this. Been feeling lately. It's just I don't even know how to describe it. You're feeling guilty for being okay. I bet that marquee of yours is feeling it too. You can't be telling me you haven't noticed anything. Okay, well that's it for now. The next video is all cutscenes. So I'll see you. So there's no commentary. I'll see you in the video after that.